Good morning, everybody. Matt Modi here to give you my favorite NBA player prop picks. We're talking about today's NBA slate, Wednesday, October 23rd. The splash zone is back in your life. Granted, the beginning of the season hasn't been very much splashing around. We got two games tonight, Thunder, Pacers, and Nuggets, Warriors. I'm going to have one play in each of these games, playing one in each game, each for a unit. Both of them are plus money, so one hit equals profit. That would be nice. Two hits equals some profit. That would be very nice. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Before we get into today, we do have to do a recap. So I'm recapping every single play so far this year. And no, you are not looking incorrectly at your screen. I have lost every single play. It quite literally could not possibly have gone worse than it has gone so far to start the year. First quarter point props, Embiid didn't even hit this in the full game. He was terrible. Worst bet of all time. Toby took 4 shots in the first quarter. None of them were three-pointers. Scored 2 points. Worst bet of all time. Jordan Clarkson, Jake LaRavia, Tari Eason. I thought I was getting some value on some role players that I thought were going to have good games. Worst bets of all time. DeAndre Ayton, never been a DeAndre Ayton guy. Thought he was going to have a good rebounding debut for the Lakers. Worst bet of all time. So, yeah, quite literally could not have gone worse. The only thing you can really do is just sit here and take it. No pun intended, no homo. Yeah, not great. Down 6.4 units to start the year. Seems like I just love starting seasons in the red. That's kind of how it's gone. And that's every single play. So don't love starting the video with that kind of recap, but unfortunately you got to do what you got to do. Hopefully, I am very confident that we'll turn this thing around. The last 2 years, up about 32 units of profit last year, up 118 units of profit 2 years ago. Obviously, we do have some history of success with the NBA, but the beginning of the season has been rough. I just haven't gone with the star players, and a lot of stars have shown up. So that's kind of just been how the season has gone. I know a lot of people have had a lot of success, so shout out to them. Just hasn't been me. Hopefully we turn that around. Starting with our first play in the Thunder versus Pacers game. Now you can say that I'm trying to get a little bit too cute with this one, but I went with Aaron Wiggins, and I actually took him over 12.5 points, which you can get at plus 105 odds at Fanatics. So that is what I went with Aaron Wiggins. Instead of taking the 11.5, I just pumped it up one more number to 12.5. Got plus 105 odds for that. Again, that's at Fanatics. If you can't use Fanatics, I don't mind taking the 11.5 at minus 120 or minus 121. I think that's totally fine to bump that number down. I just think it makes a lot more sense to get like 25 cents of juice better just going up for 1 point from 11 to 12. If he scores, he's probably going to either make a free throw or hit a three-pointer. So getting us to that 13-point number as opposed to 12. I do want to give a shout out to Josh Lander, Land Your Bets. Watch his video on his YouTube channel. He mentioned this one. The odds weren't out by when he posted his video last night, but I thought it was a really good look. So this is something that I'm going to be on myself as well. Just want to give him credit. The biggest thing here with Aaron Wiggins is look who is out for this game. Jalen Williams. Now, he was out for the first game of the year, so this is not new. What is new is no Alex Caruso as well. And if you look at games where he's played without both of those guys, you see his minutes goes from 20, averaging about 21 points per game, all the way up to 31 points per game. You see the over-under 11.5. Well, he's hit that in 5 of 6 games. He exploded with a 41-point barrage against the Kings, exploded with a 35-point barrage against the Jazz, and then had one bad game here, played 20 minutes. He took 9 shots, didn't make a single one. That's bad. Played 20 minutes. And then the other couple, 26, 13 points. That's without both of those guys. If you just look at without Jay Will, it's 8 of 11 games. He's gone. It's actually 7 of 11. One time he scored exactly 12. That would suck. 0 for 4 from 3 in that one. But 7 of 11 games without Jay Will, averaging about 29 or so points per game. Really good stuff there. And then you look at without Alex Caruso. So to start the year, it wasn't as great. You see, he missed it in like his first 6 games. So it's 14 of 28, half the time. Still half the time with the plus money play is not bad. Averaging about 14 points per game is not bad. And you just take out those like first 6 games. Well, it looks a lot better. 14 of 22 games. He did get hurt in this game. Only played 6 minutes. Another game where he only played 14 minutes. That one I don't think was an injury. I think he just wasn't playing that well, and it was a big game against the Warriors. But he looks good without both of them individually. Now, one thing that I do want to note is that a couple of the games that he played without both Caruso and Jay Will, SGA also missed. So if you add in SGA, it's only 3 games, so it's a small sample size. One game, again, he exploded 30 shots, 41 points, 40 minutes. Another game he scored 13 in 26 minutes. That's probably going to be closer to what we're expecting in this one. And then that gross game where he only played 20 minutes and he was 0 of 9 from the field, just couldn't make anything. That's kind of what we're looking at. But the biggest thing here is the minutes, 28 minutes per game. And if you look at Aaron Wiggins, you look at games like his floor without those two is probably, I'm going to guess 25 minutes. Now, he's not going to play 40. His ceiling, probably 32 minutes. You look at games in which he's played between 25 and 32 minutes, averaging 16 points per game, gone over this number in 14 of 22 points, and 11, 12, 11. So he has come close in a lot of the games as well, averaging 16 points per game. I really debated taking him at 15 plus points as well. If the season had gone a little bit better and I was feeling better about myself, I might have gone over 12 and a half and then laddered him up to 15 plus as well. The matchup against the Pacers, if you go off of last year, it's some good, some bad. They give up a lot to guys, like they foul a ton, a lot to the pick and roll ball handler, nothing in transition, and not a ton via spot up. But his play types are a little bit different with guys off the floor. It is going to be a lot of spotting up because SGA is still going to be in, but maybe he's running a little bit more in the second unit. They also have Lou Dort and Kason Wallace listed as questionable. That's obviously going to impact things for Aaron Wiggins as well. But it's really just betting on increased usage with guys out of the lineup. That's kind of what we're looking at here with Aaron Wiggins. On the Pacers side, obviously Halliburton's out, and that's a huge bummer. He's going to be out for the year. TJ McConnell is also out for this game. I really went through a lot of these guys on the Pacers. I just really couldn't find any value. It would probably be Siakam, either his points or his PRA without Halliburton. But you look at games he's played without Halliburton, it's not a ton. He did go over in 4 of 6, so that looks good. But the Thunder, tough matchup. Obviously, they have an incredible defense. Maybe the RA instead, but the hit rate for that is terrible. It's only one time he went over. A couple times he came close. So I couldn't really find anything on the Pacer side. But that is play number 1, is the Aaron Wiggins play. Next up, and the Nuggets versus Warriors. The official play that we're on here is this one. I'm going chalk. I'm going with Jokic, and I'm actually taking him 30 plus points. You can get that at plus 115 odds at BetMGM, the 30 plus points for Jokic. Main line has it at 28.5. I just bumped it up one more. Give us 30, give us plus money. That's a classic how I like to play these things. And there's a lot of reasons to like this. He's had a lot of success against the Warriors last year. Went over in both games against the Warriors, 38, 33 points. You look at 2 years ago against the Warriors, went over in 3 of 4, averaged about 32 points per game. The one game he went under, still scored 26 points. So he still had a decent game. And then we see 35, 34, 32. You look at the last 2 years combined, obviously hit rate is 5 of 6, averaging 33 points per game. We've seen a bunch of stars blow up in the first game of the year. Luka, Anthony Edwards, Wemby, Tyrese Maxey. Hopefully Jokic is one of those guys as well. Little bit of a new look Nuggets. Cameron Johnson's on the team. Bruce Brown is back on the team. Both Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray are listed as, or maybe they were listed as questionable. It's possible that they have now been ruled in and taken off the injury report. That does look like that's the case. So those guys are in. And it's just a really good matchup for Jokic. And the reason why is if you look at how the Warriors funnel shots, they give up, they're bottom 10 against post-ups. Obviously, that's where Jokic scores, scores a majority of his points. They don't foul a ton. What I really want to highlight here is this shot zone. It's called the non-restricted area of the paint. We see that the Warriors, they don't give up anything in the paint. They do everything they can, in the restricted area. They do everything they can. Don't give up buckets in the restricted area. But guess what? Just right outside of that, the non-restricted area of the paint, third most according to Props Madness. If you look at it, they actually allowed the most field goal attempts in the non-restricted area of the paint last year, and this is just per NBA.com. Obviously free to go to NBA.com, look at the stats. Just looking at distance range in the paint, non-restricted area. Most attempts and tied for the second most makes, which is why you saw the 28th on Props Madness. But they gave up a lot of points there. It was the same thing 2 years ago. So even across different iterations of the Warriors in terms of who's been on their team, still the most 2 years ago and the most attempts. Really, really good matchup for that regard. That's a death sentence when you're going up against Nikola Jokic. He took tied for the second most shots in that area of the court, 6.9. That's very nice. But the most makes, this was last year. You want to go to 2 years ago? It's the same exact thing. The most makes, and this time tied with the most attempts to Jalen Brunson. That's where Jokic lives. Obviously, he can get to the rim, but he's got that little push shot, the floater in the middle of the paint right here. It's an incredible spot on the floor for Jokic. And yeah, that's why it's a really good matchup for him. That's why we've seen him dominate the Warriors over the last couple years. And even though the Warriors, like, they added Jimmy Butler at the trade deadline last year, they added Al Horford over the trade deadline, or excuse me, over the offseason. They have a bunch of new players. Not a bunch. They have some new players, but it's the system with Steve Kerr, their head coach. Like, they're not letting themselves get beat at the rim, and they're going to accept those push shots. But Jokic is somebody that can kind of dominate from that area. So the two official plays that we are on for tonight is Aaron Wiggins over 12.5 points and Jokic 30+ points, hopefully. Just give me some green. I just need to see one go through the hoop. And then in terms of leans for this game, what I really looked at was Kuminga on the rebounds. It's over 4.5. You can get that at even money for Hard Rock. He had 9 in the first game. He had 13 rebound chances. That's really what I want to highlight is the minutes at 33, the rebounds at 9, and the rebound chances at 13. Now, this is going to be one of those plays where his maybe like if Kuminga, because he looked good, right? He played within himself. That's kind of what the Warriors are asking him to do. This could be one of those things where, like, as the season goes on, you're going to see this go up to 5.5 and 6.5 if he keeps playing like this, or it's just going to be a one-game mirage. We don't really know that information yet. And I wanted to get there with him because I looked like, all right, he played 33 minutes. How does he perform if his minutes are between, let's call it like 28 and 33? Kind of what he played last time, 35, just to make it go up a little bit more. Yeah, okay, the hit rate, 17 of 29 games. That's not bad. You look at the head-to-head against the Nuggets. One time he hit it, but he only had 7 rebound chances. I don't love that. And then the other time he only had 5 rebound chances. And that is playing 28 and 29 minutes. He also, if you look at games with Jimmy Butler, did not rebound a ton. Only 8 of 23 games did he go over with Jimmy Butler. And even if you limit his minutes, like, or you put the minimum minutes to like 28 with Jimmy Butler, still only 2 of 5 games, and one of them was this year. So it's just hard to know it's hard to know what to expect this early in the season. So yeah, it could look dumb. This 4.5 number, I decided to hold off and just play it safe with these two plays that I have. But that's what we're rocking with for today. Please, let's have a better day. Appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out Props Madness. I should have mentioned at the beginning of the video. You saw me walk through how I use them. Filters, there's a ton of stuff you can filter by. Shot zone, rebound zone, a ton of different important stuff, like how similar players perform in this matchup. Really helpful stuff on Props Madness, so check them out. And thanks for watching. Make sure to bet responsibly, and have a good one.